FEMA.gov or calling 1-800-621-FEMA. I'm going to repeat that, FEMA.gov or 1-800-621-FEMA. Now, federal assistance alone is not going to be enough to make people's lives whole again. So I'm asking every American to do what you can to help get families and local businesses back on their feet. If you want help, Governor Edwards put together some ways to start at volunteerlouisiana.gov. That's volunteerlouisiana.gov. And the reason this is important is because even though federal money is moving out, volunteer help actually helps the state because it can offset some of its costs. Obviously, private donations are going to be extremely important as well. We want to thank the Red Cross for everything they're doing, but there are a lot of private philanthropic organizations, churches, parishes around the state and around the country who want to help as well. And that's how we're going to make sure that everybody is able to get back on their feet. So let me just remind folks, sometimes once the floodwaters pass, people's attention spans pass. This is not a one-off. This is not a photo op issue. This is how do you make sure that a month from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now, people still are getting the help that they need. I need all Americans to stay focused on this. If you're watching this today, make sure that you find out how you can help. You can go to volunteerslouisiana.gov or you can go to FEMA.gov. We'll tell you, we'll direct you. You can go to whitehouse.gov and we'll direct you how you can help. All right? But we're going to need to stay on this because these are some good people down here. We're glad that the families I had a chance to meet are safe, but you know, they got a lot of work to do, and they shouldn't have to do it alone. All right? Thank you very much, everybody. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. You know, we discussed that on the way here. What you have is, you know, the Stafford Act provides a certain match. A lot of the homes have flood insurance, but a lot of homes don't. And what Craig Fugate is doing, what I instructed him to do from the start is let's get money out as fast as we can because we know that there's going to be a certain amount of assistance that's going to be forthcoming. So there's no point in waiting. We kind of make initial estimates and we start pushing stuff out. That helps us and helps the governor and all these officials here do their jobs. And then what we have to do is, as we fine-tune exactly what's needed, when we know, for example, how much permanent housing is going to have to be built, when we have a better sense of how much infrastructure has been damaged, what more we need to do in terms of mitigation strategies, that's when Congress, I think, may be called upon to do some more. Now, the good news is that you got 4 members of Congress right here, and a number of them happen to be in the majority. So I suspect that, you know, they may be able to talk to the Speaker and talk to Mitch McConnell, but in part because of the fine stewardship at FEMA, and frankly, because we've been a little lucky so far, and I'm going to knock on some wood in terms of the amount of money that's gone out this year, FEMA has enough money for now to cover the costs that can be absorbed. The issue is going to be less what we need to do in terms of paying for the short term. It's going to be the medium term and the long term rebuilding. Congress should be back in session right after Labor Day. By that time, we'll probably have a better assessment. And in the meantime, lawyers at FEMA will be examining what statutory flexibility we've got. And I know the governor's been right on top of making sure that Louisiana gets everything that it can get in order to help rebuild.
Mr. President, do you worry about that fight becoming politicized and the trip here becoming politicized?
No, I don't. First of all, one of the benefits of being 5 months short of leaving here is I don't worry too much about politics. The second thing I have seen historically is that, you know, when disasters strike, that's probably one of the few times where Washington tends not to get political. You know, I guarantee you, nobody on this block, none of those first responders, nobody gives a hoot whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. What they care about is making sure they're getting the drywall out and the carpet out, and there's not any mold building. They get some contractors in here and they start rebuilding as quick as possible. That's what they care about. That's what I care about. So, you know, we want to make sure that we do it right. We want to make sure that we do it systematically. But the one thing I just want to repeat is how proud I am of FEMA, because if you think about the number of significant natural disasters that have occurred since my presidency began, you'd be hard-pressed to find a local official anywhere in the country, including those in the other party, who wouldn't say that Craig Fugate and his team have been anything less than exemplary and professional. And one of the things I did when I walked through each of these homes was ask, have you contacted FEMA? Have you filed? And uniformly they said that they had been in touch with FEMA. They had acted professionally. Some of them had already been out here for inspections. And I think that does indicate why it's important for us to take the federal government seriously, federal workers seriously. There's a tendency sometimes for us to bash them and to think that they're these faceless bureaucrats. But when you get into trouble, you want somebody who knows what they're doing, who's on the ground, working with outstanding officials, and that's true whatever party. And I could not be prouder of the work that FEMA's done. That doesn't mean that there aren't going to still be folks who need more help and that we're not going to have some constraints statutorily and Congress isn't going to have to step up. But it does mean that the basic backbone, the basic infrastructure and architecture that we have in terms of disaster response, I think has been high quality. And I'm very proud of them for that, and I want to publicly acknowledge that at the moment. All right? Thank you, guys. How you doing? I'm a little sweaty right now. What's your name? Hey, Melissa. How you doing? What's your name, man? Leroy? Good to see you. Which home do you have? This one right here? So you let us use your yard? Well, come on. We got to. Here, come on. We got to take pictures right now. Yeah, but we got to have the podium. We got to have the podium so that, here, you get on one side, you get on the other. That way, we can look like we're giving a press conference together. Come on. So how y'all doing? All right, y'all are able to get some of the drywall out. Is that right? Oh, come on. You sure? Well, so you got some M&Ms for her? Will you tell her, can you shoot video on that? So that way I can wish her a happy birthday. All right, so her name is what? This is Malia's the one with the birthday? What's her first name? Moline. Okay. All right. Tell me when you're ready. Malia, I want to wish you guys happy birthday. Everything's going to be okay. Mom and Dad, they've got things covered, and the President's going to get your back as well. All right? So have a wonderful birthday celebration. Work hard in school. Okay? All right. God bless you. All right, man. Thank you. All right. Come on, let me take you. Don't be sleepy. Oh, that happens when it's hot. Thank you.